Rosenthal joins us this morning. Nice to have you back here.
Pleased to be here.
So you were convicted yesterday for the second time. The original conviction was in 2003. Why did they retry you the second time?
So this is totally a political case, and they're trying to use this case to close down medical dispensaries all over the state.
I thought the original verdict was overturned.
Just on juror misconduct. And then I was retried, and I was actually found guilty of the same charges this time. And once again, the judge did not allow me to bring the witnesses that we wanted, did not allow us to give our theory of the case, which was that we were really allowed to, and that I was an officer of the city that was deputized. And the jury never heard that.
Why don't you explain, for people who may not know your story? You were working, in essence, for the city of Oakland, because in the late 90s, the people of California passed a medicinal marijuana proposition and said it would be legal to use medicinal marijuana.
Yes. And then in 1998, Oakland passed an ordinance protecting certain people who were involved in it, and I was deputized to provide medical marijuana to patients, and I was doing that legally. And
is that when you were arrested?
I was arrested by the federal government for that, because they don't recognize the state's medical marijuana laws, and in fact they said Scott School said, actually, the original appeal in this case, the Ninth Circuit Court affirmed Judge Breyer's decision to allow certain evidence regarding state laws involving distribution of marijuana, and that's the law in this country. And what he's saying is that people will be arrested, and they're trying to close down the dispensaries.
So Judge Breyer would not allow the jury to hear that you were working for the city of Oakland and you were doing it legally. The jury was upset with that when they found out afterwards.
The first jury was. But in this case, when the jury panel was assembled, there were 90 members of the jury panel, and 55 members said that they could not be fair in this case because they were so opposed to the law. So I really didn't get a trial by my peers. I wasn't allowed the evidence that I wanted. I wasn't allowed the theory of the case. And the appeals court has already said that this is all okay.
What's kind of interesting, though, is the same judge, Charles Breyer, who would not allow the evidence to be in your first trial or your second trial.
Yes.
Sentenced you to 1 day in jail.
Yes. Well,
only, and said, because you could have gone to prison for 6 years.
That's right. Well, that just shows what a political case this is. They tried to use this to close down all the dispensaries, and they're not really interested in what happens to me, but they were interested in stopping people from getting their medicine.
So I understand what you're saying, that because you seem to have sympathy for your cause.
That's right.
But you're not saying he's part of the political process.
He definitely is. He knew that he was violating my constitutional rights when he allowed this case to go forward, because it was a tainted warrant. He had lying witnesses. He knew that the witnesses at the pretrial hearings, that the DEA agents were actually lying. It was apparent, and he wouldn't let us bring out all of our
you say all that, so why do you think this same judge will throw out both convictions?
I don't know that he will, but we're appealing the case, and it's such an important case that we have to continue with.
So you're going to continue growing pot for medicinal purposes?
I haven't been growing marijuana. I'm continuing with this case because this case is going to affect every patient who may need marijuana